much what we're looking at for tonight is going to be just the potential of some rainfall out there. There's not going to be much of anything in the lower elevations, the River Valley, Chattanooga, Hamilton County, the River Valley area, the lower portions of the News 12 viewing area will probably not see so much as a snowflake as much as a couple of raindrops. The upper elevations, that's where we're seeing part of the problem, and there are some advisories out for portions of the area. So for right now, what we're seeing is going to be, again, the potential for some more problems for driving, especially into and around the Appalachians, and that's going to be the worst driving into around tomorrow. So for the time being, what we are going to be looking for tonight is going to be the potential of some heavier amounts of snowfall into and around portions of the area around the higher elevations east of Chattanooga, and then into around areas between Knoxville and Asheville. That is going to be the worst concern for right now. So as we get into the rest of the forecast after that, things are looking decently quiet, and up until about the weekend or so, and then that's where we see the possibility for even more rain showers out there. That should be the worst of it. We're still not seeing anything in the way of problems out there for anything involving severe weather. Hopefully it stays that way, because as of right now, again, this is the second severe weather season peak of the year is what we are currently in, and that is something we would like to try to avoid if at all possible, because for right now, again, the last thing we need on top of everything else is going to be the potential of any severe weather coming through. But there's nothing in the way of severe weather, at least looking that far ahead. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. This is Weather Overtime. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. If you've got a question about the forecast on Twitch or Facebook Live, go ahead and drop it into the comments section. We'd love to see more about what you're seeing out there. We'll have our West Shore Home Weather Window Picture of the Day coming up in just a bit, and we'll take a look at the Almanac page, and we'll have a whole bunch of other stuff coming up as well. We were keeping an eye on a couple of situations over the last couple of hours, and it looks like we're still having an issue at this point in time. Let me get the cameras up and going so you can see more about that. If you are traveling I-75 coming out of Georgia, or I-24 going eastbound, that is where we're seeing a lot of the concern here. What you're looking at is our Tomahawk crane and rigging camera from the 75-24 junction just around the Chattanooga airport area right before you hit 153, that junction there. Southbound 75 is not having a problem, so that's some good news. From 24 east, there is little, if anything, going on there. Notice right on through there as those cars are slowing down right on 75 north going under 24 east. That's where things really have started to slow down. There's an accident just through the trees over on the right-hand side that has been there for quite some time, at least the last 3 to 4 hours, and there was a multiple car accident, still is, according to TDOT Smartway, that is really causing problems. And as you head from this area going again from 24 east to 75 north, right past this through those trees, everything narrows down with that construction going on, and it was bad enough as it was with limited lanes. Now there's a multi-vehicle crash in cleanup mode, and that is causing all of this backup that you see across there and then going around the corner under the overpass from 75 north to 24 west. So we do have a very big concern here. So if you can hop off down around the area of Battlefield Parkway, farther south, if you're heading that direction, or if you can hop off around Moore Road or Germantown Road, that might save you some concern there, because the backup at this time goes all the way back to the ridge, and it looks like things are backing up downslope on the ridge of I-24. So traveling tonight, that again could be a little bit of a concern out there. Let me switch briefly to the still picture. It looks like they've gotten some of the accident cleared out here from the TDOT Smartway camera. This is looking north toward Brainerd Road over on the north hand side, but unfortunately the construction area, having an accident is bad enough. Having an accident in a construction area is bad enough as it is as well. So that is why we're seeing that. Now the southbound traffic, that is not having any problem. I-75 southbound here. Northbound traffic, you can see it looks like it's opening up a little bit, but there's still a big enough scrum to cause some problems. So bit of a concern, at least at that location. Let's switch over. I want to see if we have it here someplace. I believe downtown was looking at I-24. I-24 at Rossville is looking okay. Let me see if I can get the camera spun around relatively quickly so we can see a little bit more about what's happening, because way up on the ridge cut, if things were actually slowing down, that could be just a bit of a concern. And yes, we are looking at a very decent backlog of traffic at this time. Apologies for the fuzziness. The autofocus should kick in here in just a little bit. What you're looking at is I-24 upslope travel, I-24 east downslope travel, I-24 west, and that backup has affected traffic all the way back to the downtown area. And again, that on the Bailey's heating and air camera. So we're seeing that as a bit of a concern for right now. Let's take a look at Lee Point from the Plainview outdoor advertising camera. Traffic here was way over backed up earlier today around rush hour, but not showing any major problems so far. Patriot concrete camera from downtown. Traffic is slow, but it's moving in both directions, and you can see all the way out to Signal Mountain in the distance, so some good news at that location. Let's take a look at a couple of quieter cameras tonight. Chattanooga Zoo Asian Lantern Festival camera, looking back toward Erlinger Hospital on 4th Street, and so far looking at good clear conditions here with overcast skies. When the Asian Lantern Festival kicks back into gear tomorrow night, we'll offer a shot of what that looks like. But tonight, because the lights are off, because it's after hours and nobody's there Mondays and Tuesdays, we're pointing it away from there for a different view. Chattanooga Theater Center from the Speedy's Total Car Care camera. You can see the lights of the aquarium roof quite nicely. The holiday lights are doing well, and a few ripples out on the Tennessee River, so decently quiet for right now. Now, temperatures in the river valley have dropped a few degrees, but not by much, so it is very much on the mild side for right now. But those winds out of the northwest showing our front is starting to make its way at least close to the area, and as it does, it's bringing along with it some amounts of rainfall. We've had some scattered moderate showers passing on through, excuse me, but little, if anything else, in the way of major problems here. Now, I'm going to take this out to the next slide, which will expand things a little bit, and that is where you can see in the higher elevations that purple and white color. That is where we may see, again, the possibility of some problems into western North Carolina, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, into Great Smoky Mountains National Park, some rain changing over to a rain-snow mixture, and that is where we may be seeing the problems into the rest of the evening. What kind of problems are we looking at? National Weather Service posting a winter weather advisory for the counties shaded in purple. That goes into effect about 2 minutes from now. That'll finally go into effect, and that also again affects areas right up along the Tennessee-North Carolina line. That is where we see the potential for sloppy driving conditions. Could be the worst of the worst activity again into tomorrow morning as temperatures begin to drop. Now, we're not seeing a lot of major problems with the temperatures for right now. Bristol, 37 degrees, so all it needs is another burst of very cool air coming on through, and that is where we may start winding up with some problems across much of the area. The front itself is sitting just to our north and west. This will be dropping on through the area tonight, and that's going to add to the very cool air coming through. That's going to possibly change some of this moisture ahead of the front into, again, some winter weather potential. I doubt anything in the River Valley is going to see too much of anything. Western North Carolina, all the way back to the Cumberland Plateau, just rain showers, and as you can see, that rain chance is very much on the limited side. Now, going out a little farther, this is a decent bounce on the temperatures. It's going to get very cold tonight, and that's going to be it for the potential of some chilly air coming through. Then warmer air comes back in with this warm front well back to our west, and that's going to give us a big bounce on the numbers into the next several days. We'll show you the 7-day forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Running the numbers through about the rest of the forecast. Again tonight, that rain-snow mixture back to our east, that should start to dwindle, or at least the best part of the moisture will go over toward the east into around the Appalachians, and the rest of the river valley should stay on the dry side. We'll get rid of the clouds tomorrow, but with the winds out of the northwest, I doubt we're going to be seeing temperatures much above 50 if we get even to that point tomorrow, but at least we'll get some sunshine in the afternoon. Thursday morning, another frosty one with temperatures back in the lower 30s and then back into the mid to upper 50s as we go toward the early part of Thursday afternoon. So we'll bounce nice on the temperatures there, and then by early Friday morning, temperatures back in the lower to mid 30s. Going past that into Friday afternoon, that looks pretty good, but we should see after that, that's where things start to get a little bit interesting. And here's what we're looking for now. This minor burst of moisture heads out of the picture and moves away from us, so there's little, if anything, there to worry about for now, and dry for the next few days. Then we start to see our next storm system approaching starting on Saturday. Chances of rain start to move into this area, and then we see again the potential for maybe some thunderstorms taking place as we go into Sunday or so. Heather Bernard, nice for you to drop by on Facebook. Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Hope everything's well with you and the family back in your area. Thanks a lot for stopping by tonight. Into Sunday, Saturday night into Sunday, that'll be the best possibility of getting anything in the way of, I would say, thunderstorms. And again, severe weather, I don't see any of that happening for right now. Then the chances of rain will start to dwindle as we get out of the picture from Sunday into Monday. And that is where we might see, again, some problems with some snow showers taking place here in the higher elevations. Notice there's nothing going on back to the west. That is very dry air taking place here. So for now, we get, again, some dry conditions, and that could erode the moisture from west to east. And that will limit the possibility of anything involving rainfall or snowfall coming down. So if we manage to get anything Sunday night into Monday, leftover moisture, I really don't see that as being a huge amount of concern for now. Yes, we're getting closer into that winter season. Winter starts in just about 2 weeks, a little bit more than that for now, but we're almost there. So naturally, it's almost time for a lot more of this type of weather. But for now, I just don't see anything major with winter weather coming down. And again, the possibility of severe weather appears to be very much on the low side. So that is in and of itself very much on the good side there. A lot of clouds at Island Cove Marina and Resort. All of our cameras available on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network, minus TDOT, of course. We borrow that just to let you know a little bit more about what's going on. But from Island Cove tonight, a lot of clouds, the winds switching out of the northwest, so there are some ripples on the surface of the waters out that direction. And then we start to see that chilly area coming up tomorrow. Temperatures back in the mid to upper 40s. We bounce back on the numbers Thursday into Friday. All this available also on our website, wdef.com/weather. And then very mild going into the weekend, upper 50s to lower to mid 60s. And Thursday into Friday, no problem at all. Saturday morning into Sunday night, chances of showers. Saturday afternoon and evening into Sunday morning, that's where I think we may see the potential of some wandering thunderstorms through here. Some of those could be on the elevated side. Again, the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, showing a possible risk 5 days out, well to our west. So nothing for us, and hopefully it stays that way. But again, if that changes, we will definitely let you know about that coming up a little bit later on, so stay tuned for more details on that. Our Panagua Auto Mall question of the day: which temperature on both the Fahrenheit and the Celsius scales are the exact same? One of them is the same on there. You take numbers like, it's pretty easy to remember. Celsius is 61, Fahrenheit is 61, Celsius is 16. So you reverse the numbers there. So a nice cool day is 16 degrees Celsius. 28 degrees Celsius, reverse that, is 82, and that's a nice warm day. So there are some numbers to help you understand that. There's nothing mysterious or evil about the metric system, no matter what conspiracy theories you adhere to. I've gotten my share of chastisement of being un-American for even talking about the metric system from my great metric experiment back in 2018. If you'd like to see that, we'll post links to that later on. But on the Fahrenheit and the metric scale, there is one number that is exactly the same on both temperature scales. It's not 0, it's not 32, it's not 100, it is not 212, even though that was the most popular answer today. Minus 40 Celsius is also minus 40 Fahrenheit. That's just where the temperature scales line up. Again, 32 degrees Fahrenheit is freezing, and 0 degrees Celsius is freezing, which you have to admit makes a lot more sense than 32 being the answer. 0 was just the number that Fahrenheit was actually able to get his temperature to bottom out at when he combined water, salt, and ice. So 0 on Fahrenheit means nothing. It just means a very cold temperature in our usual atmosphere and waters on planet Earth. 100 is a very warm bowl of water when you use the Fahrenheit scale. 100 degrees Celsius is 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, of course, boiling. We all know that one from a long time ago. But again, they're different numbers. It just makes a lot more sense to me as a scientist, and just in general to see a lot of countries around the world using this. 0 degrees freezing, 100 degrees boiling. That makes a lot more sense than 32 degrees freezing and 212 boiling. And most of the time I've heard the best excuse that is offered is, well, we've always done it this way, or metric is just so hard. Well, actually, metric is easier, and a lot of the reason that I use Fahrenheit is because that's the way a lot of people prefer it in one of the only countries in the world that still uses the English measurement system. So keeping an eye on that. It's a very unique thing to take a look where these temperature scales meet up at. That is why we feature the metric system in our Panagua Auto Mall weather question of the day. It's not to promote a worldwide one world government agenda. It's just talking about how cool the metric system is. And yes, I said what I said. So again, that's what I would prefer. But again, being in the United States, we try to make certain that we adhere to something that everybody will be able to see and take a look at and understand. Sadly, again, it would be nice if you use the metric system. It would be easier for everybody. Anyway, if you'd like to vote in our next Panagua Auto Mall weather question of the day, it'll be up at midnight, and you can vote there at wdef.com/vote now if you'd like to take a look there. Weather where the troops are, taking a look around the world where a lot of folks can't get home at this time of the year. Joint Region Marianas, Guam, way out in the middle of the Pacific, 83 degrees, heat index of 92 with a 77-degree dew point, so it is just a little bit on the little tepid out there, to say the least. Winds out of the northeast, onshore flow at about 13 miles per hour, so at least there's a breeze stirring things around by just a little bit into some portions of the area. Let me see if we got the data back. We lost the data for Camp Lemonnier earlier, and unfortunately the data is still lost. So the Horn of Africa is not reporting any information at this time, I'm sorry to say. So hard to take a look at what's going on there. Let's go back to the Persian Gulf, to the Kingdom of Bahrain. Naval support activity in Bahrain at 68 degrees, actually very comfortable in the Persian Gulf. Winds west coming in from off of Saudi Arabia and into that area of the world. Looks like temperatures quite on the mild side, so no problems there. And let's see if Iraq managed to catch up. The data was spotty earlier on, And from the area of the Tigris and Euphrates Valley, 37 degrees at Sulaymaniyah International, 50 in Ankara, Baghdad 57 with cloud cover, Al Assad Air Base at 54, 54 also at Najaf, and 50 in the southern part of the country down toward Basra. So we see the potential of some colder weather coming on through, possibly with another front moving in from off of Eastern Europe and parts of Western Russia. We'll see how well that pans out into the course of the next couple of days. Taking a look at our ocean link of the day, the National Ocean Service from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has a podcast and blog if you'd like to catch up on what's going on in the ocean and the topic of coral bleaching and how that is devastating a lot of undersea communities. And you may be sitting there saying, oh, we don't have to worry about that. It's always been the same. This happened before. This will happen again. So we don't have to worry about it. We do. It's a serious issue. Climate change is being caused by humans. That's a fact, and unfortunately, as the waters warm, some coral communities are dying off, and that's affecting a lot of wildlife, and especially into around portions of the Atlantic, the Bahamas, into areas of the Pacific. Again, it's affecting a wide-ranging area, so it's a very important topic. If you'd like to know more about this and a whole bunch of other things, go to my social media pages, and you can find out a whole bunch more. Facebook, Counter Social, Instagram, YouTube, X, Reddit, Tumblr, YouTube, Mastodon, Counter Social, and hit me up for a game of chess at chess.com and lichess.org. This has been amended. It's no longer time to be determined. Again, if you are deaf or hard of hearing, National Weather Service Huntsville is offering a winter weather workshop for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. It'll be held in Huntsville, and the reason we're letting you know about this, even though it's a little farther away from us, is that the deaf and hard of hearing community should be included with everybody who has their hearing that works, as much as anybody else in the community who may have a handicap, disability, anything on there. And again, getting people involved who speak with, again, ASL, and to make certain that you are able to learn and see what goes on with the weather. Very nice of the National Weather Service in Huntsville, Alabama, to offer this course, and that'll be coming up next week tonight, again at 6 p.m. If you'd like to be there, ASL interpreters and card services will be provided. If you'd like to know more about this workshop and how you can get involved, even if you're deaf or hard of hearing, go to weather.gov/HUN for the National Weather Service in Huntsville. The Skywarn Spotter training course tonight was held in the area of from Huntsville, and again, this was earlier tonight, so this is already come and gone. So this will not happen until another one is rescheduled at Northeast Alabama Community College. Thank you very much for hosting that in Rainsville, Alabama. The next one for the News 12 viewing area will be coming up in 2 days' time, McMinn County Courthouse in Athens, Tennessee. If you live in this area, please sign up at the website for the National Weather Service Huntsville, and you will be able to learn a little bit more about how to protect yourself during severe weather, what to look for during severe weather, how to phone the information back to the National Weather Service during severe weather, so you act as the National Weather Service's eyes, ears, and brains out in the field. So if something happens, you're on a list, they can email you, they can call you and ask what's going on, and you can give them an idea as to what's happening. That's this Thursday, December 7th, 6 p.m. Eastern. Sign up again. It's not, again, anything to put you on a special government register. No conspiracy theories. It's just to make certain they have enough seating for everybody. So if more people sign up, then they'll be able to get a bigger room at the McMinn County Courthouse or schedule another meeting down the line. So if you can, please consider becoming a Skywarn spotter. I tell kids at every single school I go to make certain that they think about volunteering to become a storm spotter. It gives kids an opportunity to get a little bit more control over what feels to be a very uncontrollable situation. So if you know more about what's happening before the storms arrive, you're going to be a lot better off and less prone to panic, and it will be able to help you, and you can help others stay calmer during severe weather when you know more about what to look for. And the National Weather Service teaches you about this in these Skywarn courses. So please consider taking one of these courses out there. Let me just go down one more further here. The one for Chattanooga and Hamilton County, yes, excuse me, but not until next year. In 2024, Friday, February 9th, 6 p.m., CHI Memorial Hospital on DeSales Avenue. Register for that at the National Weather Service in Morristown, who will be teaching the course, weather.gov/MRX, and be glad to have you along as a storm spotter out there to make certain that you stay safe. The Greater Chattanooga Orthodontics bus stop forecast for Wednesday: breezy, chilly. Temperatures, again, will be back in the upper 30s. Winds will be northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. So it's going to be a fairly raw morning starting things off. It will be milder going into the rest of the day, but temperatures will not be much past the upper 40s. And remember, that breeze out there is going to be rather harsh at times, 5 to 15, gusting to 20 plus. So remember, walking home in the 40s with that stiff northwesterly wind, that could be a bit of an issue out there. So please make certain that you and the kids are definitely prepared for the situation at hand when you run into a situation like that tomorrow. Thanking News 12 viewer Claire Shadden for a view from up above of the Mayon volcano in the Albay, hope I'm saying that right, region of the Philippines. That's our West Shore home weather window picture of the day. If you've got pictures, excuse me, all you have to do is send them along to us at pictures@wdef.com, or again, drop them to the comments section of our social media pages. And we'd love to see what you're seeing and show them to everybody to put them on social media, but we can't show them if you don't send them. So you see the problem we're running into on that. Almanac page for the day. We were very close to normal, 36 the low, normal of 37. 58 our high temperature, and 55 is where we should be. That's normal for this time of the year, so not too bad, not anywhere close to our record high or low temperature. Wind gust of 23. Goose eggs on rainfall, so we're ahead for the month by only about an inch. The first time we've been able to say that for quite some time. And then this year we should be at 50 inches plus. We're barely at 43 inches and behind for the year by 7 2/3 inches. So we need a lot more rainfall. We'd need a lot more for the rest of the year. Between now and the end of the year, we basically would have to get 2 1/4 inches of rain to just break even for 2023. So I've got a very bad feeling at this time that 2023 is going to wind up being a possible deficit year for rainfall across much of the area. Looks like traffic has started to loosen up a little bit. I-75 northbound just around the Brainerd exit, just up and above this area. Wreck earlier in this location was causing a lot of concern. And while we're at it, before we close things down, let me take a look one more time just to see if we are doing okay on traffic in this particular area. And we still have a bit of a scrum taking place, but it looks like it's a lot better than what it used to be. So if you're going 75 north to 75 north past the 24 junction, you will be better off, but it's going to take a while to get all of that cleared out for right now. That, I think, should do it for this evening. It's, again, decently quiet, some scattered light showers across portions of the area, but really not much more than that, so some good news on that for now. Keep it tuned to News 12. We'll keep you updated on what's going on with the weather. Of course, Chip Chapman will have some of your forecast bright and early tomorrow morning, and I'll be back tomorrow evening with another look at what's going on with the forecast over the course of the next few days through and into the weekend. That is where we see the potential of some very soggy weather coming our direction, so we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. As always, keep it tuned to WDEF.com/weather, and we'll keep you advised on there. You can find me on all these social media channels to keep you updated as to what's happening with the weather and all sorts of other neat and interesting scientific and other type things that cross my path. So stay tuned to social media there for more details on that. Live and direct from Chattanooga, Tennessee, USA, North America, planet Earth, I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick from the News 12 studios in downtown Chattanooga. Thanks for joining us for Weather Overtime for Tuesday evening, the 5th of December. Stay tuned for more. Hope you stay safe out there, and join us for more details on News 12 tonight on News 12 at 11.